All right, welcome back to It's New, the morning show that you cannot live without, but you really do want to live without it. Event. Mordy, what do you got for us?
Do you really want to live? Is that the question?
AI is taking it all over.
Yeah, and then you won't be indexed anyways. Doesn't matter.
All right, and I'm talking about explicit stuff. Anu, what do you got for us?
Updates on the Google Ads API.
And Greg
Finn Esquire here, talking about a recent lawsuit.
Looking forward to it. All right, so Morty, what do you got for us here?
So there may be an issue with some. Well, I don't call it an issue. There may be a pattern. I'm not sure how to word this.
No,
there might be something with indexing happening.
Yeah.
Is that land?
No, it's good. It's pattern. We don't know. We don't know what's going on.
Some people are saying, oh, there's a lot of stuff of like, an increase in discovered or not indexed, crawled not indexed, crawled previously not indexed. And some people saying, no, it could be, it's an issue where it's not an actual issue. It's indexed, but it's also, you're blocking the robot.txt file. So it's not really not in the index. Some tools are, somebody has a tool. They're saying, no, I see a whole thing there. Other people saying, no, it's not a whole thing. All I know is that indexing's been harder over the last couple of years. SEOs have been talking about it, so it's not surprising. But I also don't know anything.
Right. There's a pattern. Basically, a lot of people are noticing that starting late May, there's a drop in the number of pages being indexed by Google. If you look at the Google Search Console report for page indexing, and honestly, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing a lot of people reporting this, and I covered it. John Mueller's like, give me examples. So if you have examples, definitely send it to him. It could be a bunch of things, like you said. It could be intentional. It could be the reports messed up in Google Search Console. It could be one of the unconfirmed updates we had in May says they adjusted what quality is and your pages are being indexing less. Or Googlebot got really tired with all the AI stuff going on and said, hey, I'm too tired to actually index. So there's a pattern. Keep an eye on it. We'll have more, hopefully, with more when Google actually responds, if they ever respond.
Scary stuff.
Could be scarier or more explicit. Where Google said it was like an afterthought in their document. They said, we updated our safe search documentation where we give all this information around how to go ahead and make sure your site is properly tagged to safe search, what to do if your site was, tagged to safe search and it shouldn't be. All this new great documentation for you. And by the way, a little note that we went ahead and did some type of update to our algorithm where we may more strongly affect sites hosting explicit videos, but don't allow Googlebot to fetch those video files. So if you it sounds like a right thing to do. If you basically are hosting explicit adult content videos, pornography, or whatever it might be on your website, and you're specifically blocking Google from accessing that content to kind of trick Google to say, I don't have those porn videos on my website, Google's going to go ahead and hit you harder with this new algorithm update. So all you people hiding your porn videos from Google, Morty, I'm not looking on your desktop or your folders hidden on your computer. Make sure Google is able to access that content so it could properly go ahead and rank it and know what to do with it.
I don't have any of that kind of content. I just have pictures of pineapples.
Are they right side up or upside down?
They're squashed.
What does squashed pineapples mean, Greg?
I don't know, Greg. What does squashed pineapple mean?
You don't want to know.
Anyway, Anu, what do you got for us?
So yeah, just a short one from me. Google has released Google Ads API 20 version 20 now. Lots of stuff like new columns around for asset and asset groups, especially, and new stuff for campaigns, demand gen. So yeah, update your Ads API.
Yeah, version 20 is out, and that video that Google releases is the most captivating video I've ever seen. So definitely watch that video on the announcement about Google version 20. Talking about exciting stuff, Greg, you got some exciting, spicy news for us.
Yeah, very spicy news from Cyrus Shepard over on Zippy. And I'm just going to put a disclaimer out here. I like Neil Patel. Like, Neil Patel is one of the most charismatic, funniest people. Like, if you ever meet Neil Patel in real life, he is phenomenal. I worked with him a ton when I was at 1020, along with his company, and did a whole bunch of work. And he is a great dude offline. And I'm not going to say anything else about online. Like, I know there is some theft and there alleged content stealing and things like that. But I haven't gone out with him, and he's a great guy.
So not pineapple level.
I don't know what he's into more.
How many years ago was that? I mean, it was back in the
Long
old days of
time.
SEO.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. He was
I
always
am
the
spring break, maybe. Like, did you
And
remember that
also,
one?
I think
You're
being
not making your case
charismatic and
better
being a
with the
good
spring break
person,
thing.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the thing that Dave Snyder and Jordan Costello put on.
To be fair, I do think he's a good person. He's a
Yeah.
massive company, and a lot of people work for him.
And he's a
Very good.
better marketer than like 99.9% of people in the world. Just putting that out there. Because
We're gonna get
Visual
so
is
many
great work.
unsubscribes after
I
that.
don't care. I can only tell people the truth. And so anyway, Cyrus started seeing that he started posting about the time he got sued, and that it looked to be sort of like online reputation management, where he's filling this in because there was a lawsuit filed against his companies by FTX, which is the cryptocurrency company that had like a spectacular downfall in 2022. Tom Brady was involved. A lot of people lost a lot of money, but allegedly not Neil Patel, according to this filing. And one thing that I was absolutely shocked about was the cost of his services that he was providing to FTX. So in a 2-year period, according to the documentation, there was $30.8 million paid to NP Digital and Neil Patel's company, essentially. There was, according to all these documents, again, read them yourself, the $1 million setup fee and a $6 million yearly fee for SEO and ad work. And FTX says the prices were well above market. We know they were just dumping money everywhere. So like now apparently they care about the market, but they were just flooding everything and obviously didn't really have the goods to back it up. The biggest single payment was $14.8 million in attempting to find another consultant. And FTX claims that no consultant was ever found. That's an interesting one. And then there was another, like 3 weeks before the big collapse, there was another $6 million that was billed. And it was like when they were failing financially, and FTX allegedly made the payment. So the total amount, I believe, is $55 million lawsuit, essentially for services rendered or lack of rendering. And there are also some claims that some of the work might not have been up to par, but very interesting. And if anything, like raise your prices. That's the big takeaway here. It's like
the weird thing, the point was that if you looked at everything else, Neil Patel charges a lot, but they don't charge that much to their customers, according to this filing. It's just a lot compared to what Neil Patel charges, meaning they don't usually charge that to other customers. It's the hundreds of thousands of dollars, not the millions of dollars like they charge. So they felt, at least in this patent, in this filing that was released, again, that Neil Patel overcharged for Neil Patel, which was the benchmark that they're using for that.
I would just say though, too, like that FTX thing was a disaster, and I would charge people more if it's rush work, if it's busy things. I don't know if I'd charge them 10x, but I'd charge them double. You know, if it's like, hey, I need to be the top priority, I need to get all these things in. I do not have a $1 million
the other weird thing is that Neil Patel was their employee. Also, you saw that? Did I miss
didn't say that?
That they hired Neil Patel directly for
that's strange.
And he was basically, I don't know if it was a consultant, just Neil Patel himself.
Well, he has different businesses, so like
he has
MP
multiple
Digital
businesses. But then
right, so
supposedly,
they hired
according to
him
the
as like an
documents,
actual-
Neil Patel was making the decisions on where the money would be spent. I think, again, I could be wrong, and that's where he was deciding where, you know, I want this amount of money going to this company, this amount of money going to that company. And I don't know, this whole thing. He was friends with the lawyers from FTX. So it's just very, very spicy if you want to read it. Again, of course, you know, what comes out in court, this could be completely false, all these allegations. But it was a fun read. Nice TMZ types of stuff for our industry.
Do you know that lemons float in water, but limes sink?
What? Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Yeah, sorry. I was just looking at things I care more about than like diving into Neil Patel and lawsuits and who cares.
Well, you weren't best buds with him like Greg and I were, so.
I wasn't best buds with him.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then if you
like,
miss a
like
quick,
you know, like I don't know, it's like like soap opera days of our SEO lives.
I was shocked at the pricing. I think
Just
that's a
have to
big
use
takeaway.
your-
from
yeah,
this,
the
is
money.
I want to work with bigger companies that
Yeah.
are like, hey, a $6 million retainer and $1
That
You
million.
want
means
Greg?
Where's the
Stamp of
money,
approval.
Lebowski?
It's a lot of money. So yeah, he knows how to charge. He knows how to run a business for sure.
No, it's like
Increase your
3
price.
orders of magnitude over our
For
pricing.
sure.
Yeah. And then Bloomberg interviewed just the CEO of Sundar Pichai, Google CEO, talked about search growth, AI content publishers decline. I watched it live last night, and then I used Gemini to summarize it, which I never do. And I posted on Search Engine Roundtable. So now SE Roundtable is fully AI generated. Have a great day. Expect hopefully on Monday with more. It's new. Bye-bye.